Morning guys, we're at VMAX again today. Unfortunately our F10 M5 wasn't ready, so we couldn't bring it along, which is very unfortunate because the conditions are actually very good here. The last couple of times we've been coming, the headwind's been around 13 to 16 miles an hour. Today there's either no wind or a very slight tailwind. So hopefully next event is in March, so we'll be ready for that one. So we've come in the M2 today. We're not running it obviously because it's not really designed for this kind of event. It's a really good turnout today, lots of supercars, hypercars, tuned Porsches, BMWs, Mercedes. So some of the cars have already run, and Acid's done a 207 in his Mercedes, and there's already been a BMW M5 that's hit 206. The ES boys have got the highest top speed at the moment with 223, with a Koenigsegg One just 3 miles an hour behind that. So we'll have a look around, see what cars are here, speak to some of the owners, and I'll probably take a few rides in some of the cars as well. So yeah, let's have a look at what's here. So when we come to VMAX, we're very fortunate sometimes to see cars like this, which you would never see outside of somewhere like Frankfurt or Geneva. So this is a Koenigsegg One. The name derives from the fact that it has as much power as it weighs, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And they've actually run this car, so it's not just sitting here looking pretty. They've done a run today and they hit 220. I have seen this car hit, I think it was 238 on previous ones with a race driver driving it and with the full power activated on it. But I mean, just look at the thing, it's absolutely stunning. Carbon everywhere, it's absolutely bonkers. And to think they actually come and run the car here as well, whereas most owners probably just drive the car around the street or just have it in their garage. So the cool thing about VMAX is that the owners are pretty friendly. If you want to go for a ride in the car, unless again to break some records, they'll let you go in the car with them. I've never been in an Ultima GTR before, so I spoke to Michael, the owner, and he's agreed to let me have a little ride in it. Obviously these cars are very basic in terms of there's no driver aids, there's no ABS, there's no traction control. It's got a 7-litre NA engine. So I'm looking forward to see what it's actually like, because all the cars that we go to VMAX in are fairly modern, they're comfortable. I mean, I do nearly 200 miles an hour in my M5 and it doesn't feel like anything. So yeah, we'll jump in the car, hook up a GoPro, and we'll get a film while we're in there as well.
Keep this foot over there as far as possible.
Yeah, for your gear change.
Basically, that's it. Bring the door down about 3/4 and then just let it go. That's it.
Cool.
The big thing I suffer with in this is just getting the start right, really hard.
Yeah, no traction control, it's all
no traction, so yeah, it's all modulation and trying to get into second gear as quickly as possible. My first run, I had a huge amount of clutch slip all the way into 4th. I don't know why, made no sense. I tested down the back straight on the way back, took it down to 0 and did a quick start with plenty of room behind me.
And it's been alright after that?
And it's been fine since then. Can't work it out.
So what vintage of Ultima is this one?
What vintage?
Yeah.
So yeah, well, it is a bit vintage. So it's 2007. That's a Chevy.
By vintage, I mean not how old, like what year is it? Yeah, so 2007.
Yeah, 2007. It's got a Chevy small block. So it's not got the modern LS engine, it's got a carburettor.
Yeah.
V8, 7-litre V8. So yeah, on the test bed, on a dyno with race fuel and all that crap, 640. So
Okay.
at the wheels, I reckon I'm only really getting 500. But that's 500 with 950 kg, yeah.
Did you track this as well?
Yeah, I do. Whenever I can, really. Silverstone's the most suited for this car. So as I said, the start is the hardest part.
Well, yeah, us guys, we just rely on our traction.
Yeah, indeed.
It just does it.
There's a clutch at the beginning.
There's something very special at VMAX today. Our friend VJ has brought his Pagani Huayra. This thing, I don't know, the only way you could describe it is being a piece of automotive art. Everything about the car is just, I guess, the best it can be. I mean, just look at the key. It's a piece of CNC machine metal encased to match the car. The interior is just, everything is just machined or carbon fiber. Leather, air vents in the seats. You know, I think you could just sit in this car and just stare at all the little details they've thought about, which you don't really see. The buckles on the side of the wings, the carbon on the inside of the sills. It really is automotive art. It's absolutely stunning. This is a regular at VMAX. It's probably the fastest Porsche in the UK. This is the ES Motor 1XXX. Now, the name comes from the fact that it's got over 1,000 horsepower, but this particular car can run anywhere between 1100 and 1400 horsepower, depending on what boost they're running. They've just done a run today on what they call low boost, which is 1.6 bar, around 1150 horsepower. And they've just done a 223 mile an hour run, which is 3 miles an hour faster already than the Koenigsegg One. So it goes to show you how fast it is. They're going to crank it up in a little while to go to 1.8 bar, which is around 1400 horsepower, and then after that they'll go to 2.2 bar, which is even more power. So I mean, they should be able to hit around 240. I have seen this car do 238 in adverse weather conditions, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. So the car itself is a 4.3 stroker. It has hybrid turbos. It's running a Cyvex ECU with methanol injection as well. So I mean, literally is a no cost build. You don't really get anything production wise that's as fast as this. It's absolutely savage. I've been out on it in the road and the acceleration is not like anything I've experienced before, and I'm used to fast cars. So yeah, I mean, the ES is done a great job on this car, you know, to beat the likes of the 1.1 and the Koenigseggs and the Veyrons of this world. It's a real big achievement from a Porsche Turbo. There's an Enzo here as well. Simply beautiful. I think that's probably the best way to put it. So contrast to the Pagani we saw earlier, in terms of the lines and everything is quite basic, but because of that it actually works really well as a design, and it's actually aesthetically very beautiful. I mean, this one, I don't think I've ever seen it running at VMAX, but all it needs to do is just sit there and just look gorgeous. But yeah, I think this is probably one of my favourite Ferraris. We're here with Acid from MSL and his C63 Black Series. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the car? What you've done to it?
Yeah, the car's basically stage 3 supercharger, voice tech.
How much boost is it running?
Running PHP wise, the power wise, not really bad. With the race tune only about 850 brake.
Okay, and then you haven't hit 200 miles an hour before today, so what have you done today?
Well, basically, from the last time we actually did hit 200.
Okay.
But it was just in bad weather conditions.
Yeah.
For now, same setup as last time, but we've got a different set of tyres.
Yeah.
And same setup basically, and we've hit 207.
So it shows you how much difference the wind makes. Because last time we had a huge tailwind.
Definitely 100%. So really good weather conditions. Last time we hit 200 with the rain.
Yeah.
Like yourself as well, and today no rain, no nothing.
Okay.
Spot on. So hopefully, let's see if we can hit the 210 in a short while.
So if a customer had a C63 and wanted to do this conversion to get to this kind of power and speed, what they'd be looking at?
You mean
price-wise, yeah.
A setup like this can be around 20 grand roughly.
Yeah,
so
to get well over 200 miles an hour. But just to give you an example, today you've got the only thing to hit in 200 miles an hour, over 200 miles an hour, is the Koenigsegg, I think.
Yes.
Today so far.
Yes, and
yeah,
we've
so
also got the Porsches.
The Porsches, but they're already tuned. But in terms of standard cars, this is faster today than the F12 and then all the Hurricanes and everything.
Yes.
So yeah, it's not.
I'm really happy with it. To be fair, it is the first Merc in the UK, as far as I'm aware, to
hit over 200. It is,
over 200 VMAX. So happy days. So
you got any more plans for the car? You're gonna?
It all depends. I can get it up to about 210, 215, but how much more money are you going to throw into it? So I'm actually looking to do the 4-litre twin turbo platform.
Okay.
There's a few here, but they're not getting more than like 180s tuned. So I think we need to get those over the 200 miles per hour and then just keep moving platform to platform.
So yeah, so the next VMAX will probably be March. So we'll probably see you with the new C63 and see how you get on. And
failing that, it depends how I feel. I might modify this a little bit more. Because it's got stock fuel pump, stock map sensors, most of the internals are stock, so I can do a bit more upgrading. Okay. But again,
yeah, it depends how far you want to go.
Yeah. Ideally, I always wanted to hit it to 1,000 brake, but I might be lucky to get it to about 950 without something seriously going wrong. But let's see what happens.
Okay, man. Thanks for your time.
No worries.
And are you going to do any more runs today? Or?
Yes, we are. We'll let it cool down and
see if you can get
210.
210. Okay.
210, but that's probably asking for a lot. But let's see what happens.
Cool. Okay, so we'll update you guys later. If he does hit 210, then we'll show you and we'll show you his big smiling face afterwards. Right, thanks, Sid.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
No worries.
So there's a Lamborghini Huracan Performante here. The first time I saw one of these was in Geneva show earlier this year. So it's the first one I've seen in the wild. It's absolutely stunning. I love the design of the wheels, the little Italian stripes. Obviously this one has the Active Aero as well on the front and the rear. So it's got the ALA Active Aero. And the colour works really well on this. I don't know if I would ever choose bronze with baby blue, but I think it works. So this obviously has it's slightly lighter than the standard one, has a little bit more power and a bit more aggressive aero. so it's a bit more designed for track, but yeah, it's very, very nice. So the day's winding down. We haven't had any lunch, we're really hungry, so we're going to make a move in a minute and go grab something. It's been a really good day at VMAX again, as usual. Really good variety of cars. Lots of cars hitting over 200 miles an hour because the weather conditions have been very kind compared to what we're used to. So I think the next one's in March, so we'll have the M5 ready for that, and maybe a few other cars. So we'll see you in March for VMAX. But yeah, just keep an eye out on the rest of our videos for some good content. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave some comments if you like, and then we'll get back to you.